Hi, guys. Welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Jo Labbé, here with Star Nations Radio Network, being broadcast on Be Live TV through the land of Facebook. So welcome this evening. We are here to clear our energy, make room for new things to come in, release things that have been coming up, maybe giving us a hard time, especially in all of this turbulent energy that we've been experiencing, starting with the full moon and then the solstice, and we're heading into eclipse season. So it's just going to be a fun ride this summer. So after we do the healing meditation, I always pull divination cards to help give a channeled message to maybe help you, guide you on what's going on for you right this moment. As part of your soul's journey. And so tonight we're going to be using Sonia Choquette's deck, Fool's Wisdom. These oracle cards are great because they are pretty easy and straightforward, but they're also very connected to the tarot. The Fool card for the tarot is the very first card of your soul's journey. And each soul has gone through many journeys, right? And so as part of that, the soul's gathered some wisdom that the Fool has encountered over and over again on its journey. And so it's really neat to have some little tidbits of wisdom that many of us have been through, or we can tell we're going through it once more. And that's what Sonia's deck brings. So I'll be using those later. So if you would like a card pulled for you, all you have to do is say yes, please. And I will pull them in the order that we see them in the production booth. It may be a little bit different than the news feed that you're seeing. And, you know, if you ask for a card really early, know that we're going to get to you, and make sure that I will ask at the end if we missed anybody to give you an extra moment to type in again in case, we didn't see it. Because it's gathering information from multiple sites. So we don't always have them right in front of us. But it is my plan to do all the cards for everybody who asks for them. So don't be shy. Don't feel like somebody else might need it more than you. If you would like to get some wisdom, then just please type in yes, please, and we'll get to you. So part of getting out there and reaching people and spreading the healing is for you guys to like or love this broadcast and share it. So that way we can get out there to somebody who maybe is looking for wisdom, maybe could use some TLC for themselves, because many of us are light workers and we spend a lot of time healing other people, but we rarely take time and the opportunity to do healing for ourselves. And that's what this show is all about. I'm providing a sacred space and a platform where you can receive the healing energy that you need to help kind of reboot you to keep going through the rest of your week. And, I was thinking about, I'm sure you guys have seen the Geico ads are coming back with some of the oldies. And so every time now, it's been a long time, but I'm thinking, oh, it's Wednesday, it's hump day. And then I see the camel walking around. So, if you need to get over the hump of this week, here we are. We're here to help you out. And, we'll call in our totem camel and see what can transpire from that. I have never looked up the camel as a totem animal, but it'd be interesting to see how they got designated Wednesday. A whole day every week. It must be pretty important. So, as we do this healing meditation, my team will work through me to help clear the entire group. And to do that, you may hear me make some clearing noises. They can sound a little bit like burps or like squawks. That is just the energy getting moved for the entire group. And I see it as a space of gratitude, because it means that you guys are showing up and you are doing some clearing. And I am so thankful, because as we do that as a group, we start to heal the planet. and we start to heal the energy around us just by taking care of ourselves. So thank you for showing up and being present, because that's what we're here to accomplish at Star Nations, is to really bring together a spiritual community to help them have information on what they need to heal, but also ways to connect to each other so that we can work as a team. So thank you. So I also want to say thank you, as always, to my producer, Neshi, who's in the house. And she's making sure that all of your card requests get put in order so that I can call the cards off more rapidly than if I had to scroll through the entire thing, which I found out like just how much that saves me on Friday when I did the special edition during the solstice, and I was trying to keep track and going back and forth in my brain. It was like, woo! So thank you, Neshi, for all that you do to help me as I help you guys. All right, so we're going to start with the healing meditation. So I invite you to get yourself really comfortable. And you want to do your best to be in a space or a place where you can actually get grounded. So whether you can sit in a chair or sit on the floor or lay down, you just want to do your best to have your arms and your legs uncrossed, because we want to keep the circuit of energy flowing. And when we cross our legs or arms, we can actually stop the flow, which may not be fun as stuff is trying to move and clear. We don't want it to get caught or clogged. And as we do this, I want you to just take a few deep breaths. And with each deep breath, I want you to allow yourself to connect deeply with whatever you're sitting or lying on. And allow your muscles to gently relax. They've been working really hard at holding you up all day. And as we focus on our breath, just allowing our mind to gently quiet, knowing it has a lot to say, but at the moment, silence is where we connect with ourselves. So as quiet as you can get, your thoughts, and we're going to invite in the divine of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to us. And we're going to ask the divine to create a sacred space for us, to surround us and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light. And creating this beautiful sacred container for us to do the work together, for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. And invite in your spiritual team, the ancestors, your guides, the star beings, your animal totems, all divine, of the highest, fullest vibration, your ancestors, and don't be shy. Invite in your whole team to help you and guide you through this healing. And we're going to begin by inviting the divine energy to connect with us at our crown chakra. And just taking a moment to notice and experience what that connection feels like. You may sense tingling or pressure. You may feel heat, cold, or sense light. And you may experience nothing at all, for we all connect to the divine in our own unique way. And we invite the divine energy to begin to clear and cleanse our energy system, bringing it into our sixth chakra and our forehead. And just beginning to remove any drifting thoughts, ideas, or beliefs that may be swirling around. Releasing our to-do list, releasing the events of the day, the week, the year, releasing the energy of what's to come, and just really allowing our energy to be present in this very moment. And inviting our third eye to expand its connection to all of our senses, including our intuition, so that we can have more clarity as we experience life. And we can open our connection more fully through more channels with our spiritual teams. Opening our ears so that we can hear and receive the messages that are being sent to us and through us. And even being open to awakening more channels of connection to our team so that they can communicate with us in even more ways with ease and grace. And allowing the energy to begin to move down into our throat, opening and expanding our true voice, the expression of ourselves in all the ways that we do that. Making space for the authentic truth to be spoken, heard, and received. And opening the pathways of creativity so that our expression can show up in even new ways that we have never done it before. And allowing any of the energy that we may be holding onto in the throat, especially in the back of the neck and at the base of the skull. Allowing all those held on to words that went unspoken. Any regret that we've held on to or disappointment. And any stress that has been caused related to that. And gently allowing it to slide down our body. And as it reaches our neck and shoulder area, knowing that we can release all of our responsibilities and burdens, at least for the moment, taking the weight off of our shoulders, giving us room to stand for ourselves, and allowing that energy to be massaged out, allowing all those tension places to be filled with love and light. And moving down into the heart and making space for our heart to beat fully, evenly in the rhythm of our own vibration, inviting our lungs to breathe in sync with that as well. And allowing space for any grief, sadness, or disappointment that may be weighing down the energy of the heart to gently begin to dissolve. The circumstances do not have to be released. But the frequency that is out of alignment with unconditional love can gently dissolve, giving more space for your inner child to stretch and grow, explore, and fill with joy. Making room for you to connect to your inner sage, the wise one of each and every lifetime, who carries that wisdom that pops in when you need it. And connecting with our inner adult and making space for the adult to be your true self, not the projected image that others have shared or created for you. And connecting to your inner warrior, that fierce advocate that has protected you, advocated for you, and been there for others, loyally and relentlessly, giving the warrior a moment to breathe and relax. For in this moment, you are completely safe and filled with love and light. And moving down into the third chakra and noticing any areas that are tense or tight or feel heavy or maybe even sluggish. And all the ways that fear has attached itself to that energy. Whether the fear is manifesting through frustration, resentment, judgment, through stress or anxiety, through anger, or sadness. In any ways you've disconnected yourself from the divine energy and the divine flow, maybe through doubt, insecurity, lack of confidence, just any way that yourself has been squeezed smaller than you truly are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. And also making room for all of your organs that work so hard to have a moment of ease, and now gently moving down into the second chakra. And here, bringing balance back into each and all of your relationships, beginning with the relationship you have with yourself, your relationship with the divine, bringing balance into relationships you have with other people, and to restore the harmony, bringing balance into the giving and the receiving. And even our relationships with our pets, with items that matter to us. Just restoring things to a place of harmony and resonance. Opening the pathways in your hips so that manifestation and abundance energy can gently ground within you in your physical and your spiritual being. And as it moves to connect to your root chakra, bringing yourself into a balance of safety, security, a sense of feeling sure-footed and balanced. And even allowing space for something as simple as our spine being brought back into alignment. Allowing the energy to flow more fully through it as it supports us. And gently allowing the energy to go down both legs equally and fully. Allowing us space for flexibility and adaptability, as well as strength and fortitude. And activating all of our grounding cords, whether you see those as roots beneath your feet, a cord extending from your tailbone, or from your first chakra, or even a cord of connection from your high heart that moves through all of your lower chakras to hold them, to ground them, and connect them. Allowing all of these connections to go deep within the earth, moving through the foundation of the building you may be in, past layers and layers of earth and rock and stone, past ancient bones and civilizations, thousands of miles beneath the earth to the very center, the molten lava center of creation that is held in grandmother's heart. And allowing your energy to connect to that and through that, grounding and anchoring you more deeply, more fully than you have in a long time. And asking Grandmother Earth and the Divine Feminine to gently send healing, filling, nurturing energy back up through our cords of connection, to fill in all the places where we were willing and ready to release energy that no longer served our highest best. And as that warm honey energy begins to move its way up through your feet and your ankles, feeling how balanced and steady the flow is between the divine feminine and the divine masculine within you. And as it moves up your legs, giving it time to fill in your whole pelvic floor like a giant bowl of creation. And here, having our pool, our well of energy that we can tap into for abundance, manifestation, and creation. And calling that energy up through our torso, filling our body and our chakras at the same time.
Yeah.
Allowing even our gentle organs to be touched by the healing of the divine. And allowing that energy to move up through our spine, our ribs, and our lungs, and our heart, through our heart chakra and our high heart, opening, expanding, and connecting us to even more love energy. More unconditional love. And allowing that to gently roll down our shoulders, down our arms, and into our hands. Making space for healing to move through everything that we touch. And up through our throat and our neck to the base of our skull. Really filling our whole skull and our third eye, all the way up to our crown. And now inviting the energy to pour down over us, cleansing, restoring, and repairing our aura, in each and every layer, frequency, vibration, and dimension that it exists in. Remembering that it goes behind us, even near our neck and our shoulders, behind our rib cage and our tailbone, and in front of us, on either side of us, above us and below us. And gently opening any other places where energy may feel stuck. If you have twinges, if you have tightness, inviting the divine energy flow to move to that spot and gently release whatever is squeezing and causing you discomfort or dis-ease. And even as simple as opening your ear canals so that you can hear more fully. And taking a moment to send any additional healing energy to Grandmother Earth for all that she does to support us, nourish us, and provide us with a loving, safe place to live and reside. Into the beings that she holds and caretakes. And taking a moment of gratitude to your spiritual team for guiding you, helping you, restoring you in this and each and every moment. And when you are ready, you can begin to dissolve your meditation. You can rub your hands together, your feet on the floor, stretch, yawn, whatever helps you come back into this moment. All right. So if you would like a card drawn for you, all you have to do is type in yes, please. And tonight's cards are going to be drawn from Sonia Choquette's deck, The Fool's Wisdom. It's the last night of The Fool's Wisdom before we head into July and a new deck. They like to change it up usually once a month. So we'll see what that brings for us. So the first card that I have is with Ellen Bartos. And Ellen, your card is the Lazy Fool. No, it doesn't mean you're a lazy fool. The Lazy Fool is a reminder that we don't always have to work hard. When we have confidence in what we're doing and how we're doing it, it's that old saying, work smarter, not harder. So build some time into your schedule where you can take a breath and stop going. Because I feel like you're on a hamster wheel. And maybe you've overcommitted yourself to things that are taking up a lot of your time. And so in this place, find ways to either delegate some tasks that are weighing you down, or say no to some people that you wouldn't normally say no to, and make space for yourself to kind of be able to kind of breathe in this place of confidence because you've got this. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You are the proof. So really allow yourself some space to be in a more relaxed state. I'm feeling a lot of busy tension, a lot of busy doing, and some stressors. So it's time for you to call in that lazy bone and give yourself a break once in a while and be confident that you can, because everything will be fine no matter what. All right, Julie Hedges. Your card, my dear, is the Crazy Fool. I love the Crazy Fool. So the Crazy Fool is basically really dig deep in finding what you want, what you need, and make yourself a priority. When we get spinning doing everybody else's stuff and doing all sorts of things that don't serve us, it's crazy making, right? We're on the crazy train because we're just going, and we don't have room to breathe. Kind of similar to Ellen's card, right? So in your case, what it's saying is, you know what you need. You know what you want. Focus on that. Really eliminate anything that isn't driving your bus in that direction. Because all of the other scattered thoughts and connections to other people that are trying to, distract you, that's not helping. That's not helping your energy. It's not helping you move forward on your soul's journey. So let go of the crazy train. Get off the crazy train. Jump ship. And you do what you need for you. And you don't have to apologize to anyone about that. Okay? All right. Susan. Of course. So your card is the Recluse Fool. So the Recluse Fool comes in when we're in this space where we need to kind of step away. And I think you got this maybe one other time, sweetie. That we need to step away from the world and get a little solitude. Now, this doesn't mean to go hibernate. This means to decompress. It means to unplug your computer, unplug your phone, and be in your own breath and in your own thoughts for a little while. Because sometimes we get caught up in everybody else's stuff and that's swirling around our brain, and it makes it really hard to sleep. It makes it really hard to focus. And so this is a moment to take some time to get yourself to your quiet space. Go out in nature, sit under a tree, lay out on the grass, whatever will calm your energy, bring you back to your earth body in the most loving way that you can, and really shut out the voices of other people, because at the moment, there's a lot of that in there, and it's time for you to find Susan and Susan's voice. And solitude and quiet is often the best way to do that. All right, Pat. Nice. You have the Thought Fool. So the Thought Fool is thinking away. And this is just saying that sometimes it's better to think before you act. The Fool card sometimes is this jump, this leap of faith, stop thinking. But for you, you know how to do that. You know how to jump in with both feet. This is a time where maybe you have things coming up that you need to weigh your options for. Decide what's really important for you and make that a priority. And sometimes that means we have to let other people down by turning around and saying no to something we said yes to, because I'm hearing the overcommitted thing coming in again. Sometimes we get overcommitted. We say yes to too many things. And so a lot of them don't serve us. So in this thinking place, kind of go through the inventory of what things are you doing that are for you and your highest best, and what things aren't. And those things that aren't, you hand off to somebody else, or you just let them go completely, because that will keep you in your flow, keep you in the flow, and it will free up some energy and some space for you to really connect with Pat on a deeper, fuller level. All right, Julie, Shumway Hill. You have the Thankful. So the Thankful is all about using your heart energy and opening up in gratitude. Find things each and every day that you're thankful for, and share that with them, share that with the divine. Keep a feelings journal of like all the things that fill your heart up, or share moments of gratitude with other people. But you have a lot to be thankful for. And when you focus on the positive, and you push fear and negativity out. So when we're in a state of gratitude, then the insecurities and the fear can't kind of leak its way in. So anytime you're feeling sort of anxious or overwhelmed, start listing things that you're grateful for. And I will even do that in my car. If something stressed me out, a driver cut me off, or I had a rough experience at the store or something like that, I will start listing things I'm grateful for all the ride home, until I really have pushed out whatever that thing was and filled in the space with love and light. And I know you're somebody who'd be very good at that. All right, Marie. Nice to have you. So your card, my dear, is the Petty Fool. And the Petty Fool is telling you, sweetheart, you are perfect the way you are. Stop nitpicking yourself to death. Stop letting that inner critic have way too much bandwidth on your radio dial. We are exactly who we're meant to be in each and every moment. There's nothing wrong with us. That is some old weird energy that needs to clear. So this is about you filling yourself up with self-love, knowing there's nothing wrong with you, and when that negative Nelly wants to come in and start saying things that aren't positive, well, then you just call her by name, and send her packing. Because if it's not said to you in love and light, it's not the divine voice speaking to you. Those petty, nitpicky things, yeah, those are the inner critic feeling insecure. So let that one go. All right, Rob, how do you do? I got to come up with a cool catchphrase for you, Rob. I'm working on it. I don't have the same poetic skill that you do in the What You Know, Polly Jo. And I've been working on it for 2 years now, but I'm hopeful that I can come up with a phrase for you. But until then, I'm going to give you your card. So your card is the Tear Fool. And the Tear Fool is, I think this card comes in for men a lot, because you guys are given the hardest time about letting go and allowing the tears to flow. And tears are the purification for your heart and your soul. It's the way the inner child can release all of the wounding that is holding the heart in a denser place than we want to be. So rather than stuffing back the tears and putting on a brave face, what would happen if you allowed your heart to crack open and let those wounded spots heal by allowing the tears to flow, the disappointment, the regret, the grief, and, maybe even self-judgment, but allowing those tears to flow till just imagine the purification of the water. And that's what the tears will do, and for me, when that energy feels present and that heaviness really comes full and wants to let go, I will find some sappy movie that will, guarantee I need, tissues. I think I tell people this all the time, but, put on that Hallmark channel and grab some Puffs Plus and let it go, because once it can flow, you feel lighter when those tears are gone, when you're not carrying all of that sadness inside of you. And that's a great one for everyone. So thank you, Rob. Jackie. This is such an interesting card. So this is the Empty Fool. And it's the one card where the fool is actually not in the card, just the dog. And there's even no words. But the Empty Fool is when we are in this place where something's missing. And the something that's missing is some aspect of you that wants to shine through. So what have you been denying? What have you not been letting out of the bag? Like, I know lots of people will hide their artist, because that's frivolous. We don't have time for that. Or you might hide your writer. You might hide your mother energy. We all have energy within us that makes us nervous. And that part of you really needs to shine through. So like for a lot of women, they don't own their goddess. They don't own their goddess energy. They don't own their sensuality or their sexuality. They feel like they've got to keep all of that in this container. And how did this happen? Because we're meant to be these loving, caring, nurturing beings, and our sensuality and sexuality is tied into that. So maybe there's a piece of your goddess that is having trouble just being comfortable being expressed. And I just feel like it's a very loving piece of you that other people need to experience. So take a good look inside and see what that could be. Because we would love that to shine forward for you. All right, Denise. Of course. So you have the Soul Fool, my dear. That Soul Fool is, it's one of those ones that can be real hard sometimes because we're so used to doing the right thing that we forget to check our inner radar to see if it feels right. Again, we say yes without thinking, and then we are so resentful and filled with regret because we're stuck doing something we really don't want to do. So what this is saying to you, sweetie, is do what feels right to you. Be who feels right to you to be. Try to let go of worry of what other people will think, because they have no business in your head to begin with. So stop giving them airtime, right? So check in and see what you need, what feels good to you. If you need a vacation, take a vacation, and go by yourself if you have to, if that's what you need. And really what I keep feeling for you is please don't let other people guilt you into doing what they want. You've done that for a lifetime. This is time for you to check in and see what you need and what feels right to you, because it's time to let that burden, responsibility, cloak that you've been carrying, get it off your shoulders and make some room for you, sweetie. It's time. And the divine is totally supporting you on that. All right, Carol. You got the handful. Love the handful. Because he's like juggling plates and cups in the air. Don't we all feel that way sometimes? And so the handful is here to say, keep it simple. You don't need to be juggling 500 things at once. We all know you're a superwoman, but you don't need to prove it every minute of every day. So how can you simplify your life? How can you turn around and say, yeah, no, I can't really do that? Does this sound familiar? We got a wonderful theme going on. Do what's right for you. Let go of responsibilities with other people if it doesn't serve you. And you don't have to make it difficult. You don't have to do it the hard way. You can do it the easy way. You know, you decide to have people, you invite people over to your house for dinner and you're freaking out because it's too hot to have the oven going, whatever, like order out, like who cares? Keep it simple. People will eat Chinese food and have a good time. They don't care, right? So just, it does not have to be difficult. So get that out of there and really focus on what's best for you. All right. All right, guys, we haven't heard that message over and over. Thanks for switching it, Emily. So Emily got the playful. And actually, this is what we do when we let go of all these responsibilities, right? It's time for you to have fun. Have fun, be playful. How can you bring joy back into your life? You know, we all have things that we enjoy to do. I mean, in the summertime, especially, right? The weather's nice. We can get outside. We can do picnics. We can go for a boat ride, whatever it is that brings you joy and lets your inner child kind of have some fun. Let's do that. Because the inner child really needs some space to breathe. You know, we carry it around in this wounded space and it's like, it wants to have fun. It wants to forget. It wants to move into a place where it's just about joy and love. And find that place to go and be. Get some good friends to go with you, maybe your cool sister. And yeah, go have fun. Go play. It's coming up on a holiday weekend, right? Or a holiday week. So get out there, get some sparklers, whatever brings that inner child out. All right, Margaret. You have the Master Fool. So the Master Fool is all about, you know, you are a master of your own life. And in that place, all we have to do is tap into our intuition and let the intuition guide us. We don't need the chatter of outside people. We don't need a second opinion or a third or a fourth. So this is just a time where trust in yourself, trust in the energy and the information that you're getting for you. Just because somebody else says it doesn't make it true. It's time for you to be you. And the way I'm seeing this is, you know, like you're in a group with a number of people who are all saying one thing and your gut is telling you, nope, that's not going to work. Listen to that. And don't be afraid of what anybody else says or thinks. Trust it, use it, and let it guide you, because it's not going to get you wrong. It's not going to lead you down the wrong path. All right, Caitlin. Nice. So you have the Careful. Oops, my camera's having trouble focusing on this. Isn't that cute? Ah, there we go. All right. There's the Careful. Must mean we all need it. We can't even see it. It's got to go blurry. So the careful is saying it's time for you to take care of yourself. Boy, this just keeps going, doesn't it? So take care of you. Nobody else can. And, lots of times we sit there, especially women, we're expecting other people to take care of us because we take care of them all the time. It is rarely reciprocated that way. And so the only way for you to get taken care of is for you to do it. And if that means taking a tubby and locking the door so nobody can bother you, if that means going to get a massage, if that means going to take a walk, whatever you need that really speaks to your soul. I'm seeing some quiet time for you around this. I think a lot of people are going through noisy, overstimulated energy right this minute. So really whatever will calm you and soothe you, that's what you want to do. Yep. I sort of see a tubby with a glass of wine, some music playing. I might come to your house. Enjoy that. All right, Anne. All right, my dear, you have the truthful. And the truthful is really all about, it's just time to be open and honest. And I think this is true for everybody on the planet. We dance around the truth sometimes because we're afraid to hurt somebody's feelings, but they know that we're not being truthful, so then they get mad. It's just this endless cycle. So it takes some really brave people to step up and just be honest, be truthful, even if it might hurt somebody else's feelings in the moment. There will be gratitude that you were upfront and yourself. As we start to release the barriers that block us from each other, the way that that's going to come through and happen is when we have our heart wide open and we're speaking our authentic truth. Because when you're speaking the vibration of the authentic truth, people will hear it even if they aren't ready to receive it. And if they aren't ready to receive it, has nothing to do with us. We can just deliver our truth and be okay with that and not worry about the response of the other person, because that gets in our way a lot. All right. All right. Before I do Joanne's, I'm going to take a quick sip. Neshie's proud of me because I'm drinking water. All right. Joanne. So your card is the Law Fool. So when the Law Fool comes up, it usually means that there's a situation that's coming up where it's going to be really important for you to know all the rules. It doesn't necessarily have to do with the law, but think about when we played board games as a kid, right? There's always somebody who's trying to make the rules match what they want so that they can win. But there's a booklet for a reason, right? So I feel like a little bit of a sticky situation coming up. It's going to be really important for you to know all the steps and all the ins and outs and to be prepared for that. Because when we're prepared for it, we don't get sidetracked. We don't get thrown off our game. We can calmly and confidently say, nope, here are the rules, and this is what we agreed to. And that is such good boundary setting for everybody. Because usually it's somebody with very weak, leaky boundaries who tries to change the rules to suit them. So really be prepared for that. And I feel it's happening in the next week. So before the 4th of July. So just keep that on your radar. Okay. All right, Christina. Yep. So your card is the Youthful. So the youth fool is great because this is calling on your young side, and I almost feel like a young teenager, right? It's inviting you to live your life fearlessly. It's hard when we are in a container with other people because they tell us what we should do and how we should do it. And if we love them, we respect their opinion, but sometimes we don't own our truth. And so this is time for you to fearlessly do what you want to do and how you want to do it. And even though people may feel badly, like their feelings may get hurt because you're not living up to their version of who they think you are, it's time for you to live your life for you. And just do your best to release all the fears that you're holding onto that are keeping you from that. All right, Ashley, your card is the Trickster. And the Trickster energy in this deck is that it's time to get real. And that means that sometimes we're around people who use white lies to get what they want. Or sometimes we don't tell the whole truth because we don't want to deal with the possible consequences of somebody else's reaction. So it's time for you to get down and dirty, to get real, to be truthful. And it feels like there may be some tough love involved in that. But it's time, because otherwise you're just fooling yourself and other people are fooling themselves. And then you're not in a real relationship. You're not in a real exchange with someone else. And it also means you're devaluing yourself and the other person when you aren't willing to be 100% Ashley, whether they like it or not. This is all about being true to ourselves, guys. Because when we're not, then we're actually inviting other people not to be true to themselves. And how would that feel if somebody you loved wasn't being true to themselves? It hurts, right? So why do it to ourselves? All right, Minnie. This is so perfect for you. So you have the Art Fool. And it's saying it's time for you to get creative. Duh. You've got a new home and new gardens, and you're recreating your whole life and how the rhythm of that is when you move to a new place. So it's just saying keep the creativity flow going. Let it reach in every aspect of your lives. And I know you are super good at this. And it's a gentle nudge to just keep that going, because we know when the creativity flows, then the abundance flows. And then our stress is just next to nothing because we've got nothing to worry about, because everything is just where it wants to be. And it's also using your inner child a lot to bring in lots of joy. And I'm seeing, doggies and artwork and plants and just cool food, just all of it. So have a blast as you're creating this new life for you. And let anything that you could imagine or wish for be in there. Nothing's too big. All right, Kimberly. All right, good card for you too, my dear. This was Neshi's favorite card a few weeks ago. The Forget Fool. The baggage left on the side of the road. What baggage have you been carrying for a long time? Let it go on the side of the road. You're carrying a suitcase that's not even yours. It's got somebody else's baloney in it. Let them have it. Give it back. So forget about it is what I keep hearing this like Italian dude. Like, forget about it. So it's like these stressors that we turn into these tornadoes of fear really don't serve us. And the old stuff gotta go. It's been playing in our brain for way too long. And that allows us to be present. It allows us to really call in what we're looking for. So start looking, taking inventory of what you can let go of, not just in the spiritual realm. I'm also feeling like in the physical realm. Are there physical items like clothes that don't fit you that can go? Are there people who really just drag you down who need to go out of your life? Start cleaning house, sweetheart, because then you're going to have more room for what you want and desire. All right, Genevieve. All right, you have the doubt fool, my dear. And the doubt fool is really, again, it's trusting your intuition. And if doubt creeps in, this doesn't feel right. What I'm seeing here doesn't match with what I'm feeling inside of me. Trust in that doubt. There's a reason you're feeling it. And it just means something's not quite as it seems. Somebody may not be telling you the full truth, or they may be trying to talk you into something that you don't want to do. So they're kind of going around town to get you to it, to get you to say yes. So if that nudge of comes in, trust it, listen to it, and tell the person, I'll think about it. Whenever you're not sure, it's like, I'm not sure what my calendar looks like. I don't want to commit and have to back out on you. So let me check my calendar and get back to you. Perfect way to give yourself a little breathing time, a little thinking time, and you're not saying no in the moment. So the other person can't really get upset. All right, Rowena, thank you for sharing it. Of course you can have a card. So you have the romantic fool, my dear. And the romantic fool is a reminder that we need to love ourselves first. Because only when we love ourselves can we actually fully share love with other people. So what can you do to be romantic for yourself? You know, when was the last time you bought yourself flowers or took yourself out on a personal date with nobody else around? This is time for you to fall back in love with yourself. And when we do that, we really start to love our life. We love what we're experiencing. Food tastes better. Colors are brighter. It's just, we get filled up. And then we're also not putting stress on somebody else to create love or romance for ourselves. When we can do those things for ourselves, then we don't have to project that on other people to try to provide it for us, because that can be just overwhelming and stressful to have to try to fit somebody else's ideal of what that is. Do it for yourself and put yourself first and really bring in that romance for you. What does that feel like? How would you like to be wooed? And do that for yourself. This is a fun one for everybody, by the way. All right, Terry. So you have the color fool. And I love the rainbow that he's kind of sliding on in this one. And so the color fool is really about that. Keep your life colorful. Where are there places where you are in too much dark energy? Lots of times we wear dark clothes, or we don't have enough light in our rooms, or we have kept the colors the same for a long time. You know, nothing can brighten a room faster than like switching out some pillows or putting out a different color sheets on your bed. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's just moving the energy. And notice if you've got kind of a monotone thing going on, like if your favorite color is green, right? Say your favorite color is green, and then you notice that every room it's green. Maybe you put in something different to kind of pop the color that's unexpected. But keep it bright and keep it colorful, and that will also make space for your inner child to do that too. Cool. All right, Jennifer. Another one of these. So this is the deceitful. So the deceitful is trust your intuition, baby. And if it doesn't feel right, it's not. People may not be trying to lie to you, but sometimes they are avoiding the full truth. They don't want to hurt your feelings, or they don't want to get into an argument. And that just ends up creating resentment. So if things feel off, they are. Trust that knowing within you. And don't be afraid to say, what's up? This doesn't feel like you're being truthful with me, or you're leaving something out. What's the deal? Because when we're in our authentic truth, then it's really hard for somebody else to stand there and hold the deceit energy with you. They often fess up, or they avoid the situation. And the avoidance is half the battle, like half of what you need to know. All right. There's some shysters out there. All right. Deborah Ann. Nice. You have the purposeful. He's taking aim. He's shooting at the target. He's narrowing down what he wants. This is time for you to live your life with purpose, with intention. What do you want to create in your life? How do you get there? And if you've got a goal, the only way to get there is for you to keep moving toward it, and notice when you start to do things that aren't in alignment with the goal. That is a distraction. That is pulling you away from your purpose. Whether it's you who pulls you away, we sabotage ourselves all the time, or we have friends or family who get freaked out if we start heading down the path because they worry they're going to get left behind or something like that. And so then they try to create a distraction to keep us from what we're doing. Not intentionally, usually just out of a little bit of fear. So live your life with purpose, really focus, really hone in on what you intend and what you want to create, and just take aim. Go for it. All right, Debbie. Oh, welcome. Love having newbies. So this one, my dear, for you is the skillful. And the skillful is another one, it's one that we all need to hear. It's the just do your best. Your best is always good enough. So when you really put your best effort in, there's no regret. There's nothing shoulda, woulda, couldas that can come in. You have the skills necessary to do what you need to do, and you know how to do it. All you have to do is do your best, and the rest will fall into place. And sometimes we learn from our mistakes by creating something even better. So don't be afraid to fail, and also don't be afraid to succeed, because both of those get in our way all the time. So as part of the 4 agreements, just always do your best. Some days you've got more energy to put toward it. That's great. But don't beat yourself up for the days that you don't. All right. All right, Renee. Hi, sweetie. So you have the righteous fool. And this is a good one. This is a good one again for all of us. So in our relationships, the righteous fool is calling for us to be wise, to be the wise one. And when we're using wisdom, it's not necessary for us to be right all the time. You know, sometimes we go into situations and it's, you know, important for us to be right. But there's always more than meets the eye in any situation. And if we're focused on only being right, then we miss out on the opportunities for compromise and to come together more fully in our relationships. So look at those places where it's important for you to be right and see if you can make room for your wisdom to shine through and to shine into those places, and know that right and wrong is not the end all. There's a lot of gray in between the right and wrong. And if we can learn to let some of that go, then we stop judging ourselves and we stop judging other people. All right. Corenda, I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm glad you're here the first time. Welcome, welcome. So this is the Pain Fool card, my dear. And the Pain Fool card is a tough one for all of us because there are things that cause us pain. There are things that are our wounds, things that we've carried with us for a long time. And sometimes we avoid them like nobody's business, right? Because we just don't want to face it. But this is a time where the pain is showing up for you to look at it, to figure out where it's coming from, and to heal it. This kind of pain can come through on the physical level. It can come through on the emotional level or the mental level. But the only one who can release us from pain is ourselves. And so thank you for showing up tonight to really do something big to heal yourself. One of the best books out there around this is How to Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, because it looks at all sorts of physical ways we hold on to pain. And lets us know the emotional component connected to it. So if you haven't read that, I invite you to take a look at that. I think at this point, you probably could download it on the internet because so many people use it as a wisdom base for healing their own pain. And don't be afraid of reaching out to your healer to help guide you in facing this, or a therapist, because sometimes we don't need to do everything alone. It's great for us to have a companion to witness us and help guide us as we move through our healing process. All right. Thanks for joining us. Rebecca. All right, Rebecca, you have the ignorant fool. No, this doesn't mean you're ignorant. It just means that sometimes not knowing is better than knowing. Ignorance is bliss for a reason. When you don't know, it doesn't stress you out. So some of the ignorant fool is mind your own business. You don't need to know what's going on for everybody else all the time. And when we let go of that, then we don't have to stress out about it. Treat other people, you know, I'm thinking about, I don't know if you have children or not, but I have adult children, and I could keep myself up at night worrying about what they're up to and how they're doing. But at some point, I have to trust in the fact that, you know, I parented them to the best of my ability. They're now adults. They get to make their own choices. They get to live their own lives. And that's true for my children. It's true for my husband. It's true for my mother. I don't need to know, right? I don't need to know. It's none of my business. If they want to share with me, great. I'm here. I'm open ears. but I don't need to dig into their lives to find out what's going on. So sometimes it's better just not to know. So let the stress go of, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on. Let it go. There's a reason you're being left out of the loop, and it's because you don't need to be in it. All right. Thank you. All right, Laura. Another newbie. This is a night for newbies. Yay. Welcome, welcome. You have the Mercy Fool. How cool is that? So the Mercy Fool is when we're in this pretty good place ourselves. And when we're in this pretty good place, share it with other people. It's like, have mercy on the people around you who are not having a good time of it. How can you be there for someone else? Because when we do that, when we're in the good space that we are, it makes room for when we're not in a good space for other people to be there for us. So, whether it's something as simple as, reaching out to a friend and having lunch and letting them chat your ear off about what's going on. Maybe it's just holding the door for somebody who's struggling. But it's really being kind and thoughtful to the human beings around you, because not everybody's having a good time. And sometimes it's just our job to shine our light and help them see their way out of the darkness. So thank you for doing that right now. Jackie, of course, my dear. I love this card too. I think I just love this deck. This is the Fear Fool, hiding behind the tree. So the Fear Fool is, sometimes the best way to dissolve fear is to laugh at it. Like, there are times that we're just like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of the dark, right? And here you are, you're imagining all sorts of crazy things in the dark, or you see a shadow and you're creating things like we did when we were kids. And then you turn on the light and you realize it's just the shadow of the tree outside, right? So in those moments when we got ourselves all revved up into worry and doubt, it's great for us to stop and laugh and just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I spun that so out of whack. And that doesn't mean that your fears aren't legit. It just means that they're keeping you from connecting to the divine energy and really being in the flow. So when we can lovingly laugh at those parts of us, when we make mistakes, when we get all caught up in some story in our head, then we find out that it wasn't anything even remotely as bad as we created. Those are the times to laugh. And if you're having trouble laughing at yourself, I always love a good Disney movie because they make you giggle. Or even Shrek. I watched one of the Shrek movies last week because I just needed a good laugh, and it hit the spot. All right, Jacqueline. Of course. So your card is the Force Fool. And the Force Fool just reminds us, it every time takes me to Star Wars, you're connected to the Force. May the Force be with you. So the force that we're connected to is the divine. And when we fill ourselves with that divine energy, when we remember that we're a divine being, there's no need for us to push and force our way through things. Because that's when we start to shift into kind of a bullying energy, when we're trying to make things happen. We're pushing our energy forward into the future. We're not in the present. So call yourself back to the present. Let the divine just, drive your car. And as you do that, you'll notice that things start to happen more easily and more quickly even than when you were trying to make it happen. I had this experience where I was trying to write. I have a lot of things that need to be written right now. And if I focus on those tasks as like, I have to do it, my whole body just freaks out. And then I'm in this, trying to get the divine to come through. But when I just go, oh, I've got a little time now and I can write and let's see what I can get done. I can whip out, 1,000 words in an hour without even blinking, because that's just when you're in the flow, you're not making it happen anymore. But if I'm worrying about like, what should I be writing or how should I be writing it, I'm putting all sorts of stress on me. So what are you doing in your life where you're pouring all sorts of stress on you? And can you pull back into the present and just let the divine guide you? All right, Michelle. Hi, sweetie. All right, so you have the Fool's Tax. And the Fool's Tax, I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to see. The Fool's Tax comes in when, we all make mistakes. We're human beings and we live and we learn. And when the Fool's Tax comes up, it means we are learning from a mistake. Now, can you just learn from it in the moment and move on? Or do you relive and rehash and recreate that mistake over and over and over again? Are you talking with everyone about this terrible thing that happened and, oh, if I could have done it better, I should have? The more we tell the negative story, the more energetic tax we're creating on ourselves. And by tax, it's like we pay for it. We pay the price. So if you want this negative thing to not have consequences, then let it go. Be like, laugh it off, right? Like, all right, well, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. All right, time to move forward. You don't have to rehash it. You don't have to go through it. You don't have to explain it. And just allow yourself space, because that way you won't have this sort of karmic tax that happens when we rehash and we recreate negative things that have happened. All right, Dave, welcome to the show. You have the Breathless Fool. See if I can get that up a little better. There we go. So the Breathless Fool comes in when our brain is spinning. So it's time for you to stop thinking and start breathing. And when we're spinning, one of the best ways to get grounded back into the moment is to take a really big, deep breath. Better yet, take 5 or 10 of them. And when we have more oxygen flow to our brain doesn't get so rattly. It actually creates space in between all the thinking for the wisdom of the divine energy and our spiritual team to kind of slide through. So when you feel yourself in those places, and we all get there when we get caught up in our brain and our thinking, one of the things I do first is I ground my energy. And if that doesn't work, then I write down and I brain dump whatever my brain is trying to tell me. I put it on paper. Paper is wood. It's connected to trees. And so it grounds the thoughts into reality, and it no longer has to swirl around in my head. So try some of that, but try the deep breathing. Because when we're spinning in our head, we're only using the upper third of our lungs to breathe. And that is when panic attacks actually can come in, is when we're not deeply breathing fully. All right, Shannon. All right. So your card, my dear, is the Wonder Fool. So with the Wonder Fool, this is inviting you to open yourself to that child place of wonder. Allow yourself to just simply be curious. Allow yourself to be open to possibilities. When we open our heart energy to our child, creating a safe place for our inner child to be, then we can create some magic in our lives by being open to just what's going on and how does that work, being curious. And in that place, you can be curious about another person, you can be curious about another thing, but we're not trying to analyze. We're not trying to make somebody right or wrong. We're not trying to figure out what somebody else is thinking, right? Because we can't. Even if you have the ability to read somebody else's thoughts, you don't know what energy and emotion those thoughts are actually attached to. So you're taking words literally out of context. Even if you could read their mind, you would have them out of context. You don't know what they pertain to. So you would making all sorts of assumptions and all sorts of judgments around that. So this is time to get curious, ask questions, and be open to any answers, and try to let your guard down a little bit, because nobody can get in if you're not letting them in and if you're not letting yourself out. Okay? That's where the wonder in the child can start to lead you down in a different way. All right, Tina. Let me do your card first. So your card is the Joy Fool. Here we go, more inner child. Our children are out now. So this is time for you to just enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Get some playtime in. What can you do to have some fun? Who can you have some fun with? Again, we're coming up on this holiday weekend or week, really. And in that space, what can you do for fun? What does your child like to do for fun? Do you like to go in the water? Do you like to have watermelon? Do you like to play with sparklers? Do you like to blow bubbles? Do you like to play in nature? Do you like to go to the mall and go shopping? Whatever your thing is that brings you joy, do that, and do it with some other people. Enjoy yourself, but create a joyful company to come play with you. Who's good to play with? Even karaoke, just something that just allows you to have fun. Like Neshi loved to play trivia with you. If she had an opportunity to go play trivia, she'd be all over it. All right. And for Ashley, you have the Peaceful, my dear. And I love this card for you because the Peaceful is telling you that the peace that you've been looking for is only a breath away. So all of that turmoil that's been going on inside of you and around you, just keep breathing because you're almost through it. It's calming down, it's subsiding, and you are starting to return back to your center. And when we're in our center, we're out of that crazy train energy and we're back into ourselves, and we're not getting pulled outside of who we are by other people. And we're not sabotaging ourselves or allowing others to sabotage us. So just keep breathing and knowing that that peace and serenity energy, it's just a breath away. It's like this far away. All right. Okay, Amelia. Of course. You have the Wish Fool, my dear. So the Wish Fool is believe in your own wishes. Believe in what your heart wishes for. And don't be afraid to ask for it. We're always worried about, well, I can only ask for what I need, or we'll only ask our team for when we're desperate. We're begging the divine rather than just saying, hey, I really would like an opportunity to have, Friday off, and and have all my work done by, Thursday afternoon so that I can just take a deep breather and have Friday off. If that's what you desire, ask for it, and your team will line stuff up for that to happen. You don't have to be desperate to ask your team for what you need. They're here to listen to you every minute of every day, and it's no different for them to give you a pack of gum or $1,000. It's just what you're asking for. And if you are in a space where you feel like you deserve it, and that you don't doubt that it will be coming in, boom, then it pops in. So just believe in your wishes and let them start to come true. All right. Bring in that inner child to help maybe make a magic wand to wave over what you're doing. All right. Rochelle, of course. You, my dear, have the sentimental fool. And the sentimental fool is just a reminder, when we get close to holidays, we often reflect on, times gone by, right? And it's fine for us to do that momentarily, but we want to be living in the present moment. We want to have this moment be a memory for the future. And if we're in the past, we don't even experience what we're in right now. So it's saying it's great to have these sentiments and these memories that mean a lot to you, but be aware and be in the moment. And actually, there was an old Disney song that was about memory making. I can't get it to come to mind right at the moment, but it's like constantly being in the moment of creating new memories. That's what Disney actually was created on, right? It was trying to create magic and wonder in your moment, in the present, so that you would be in the moment. You, your family, your kids would all be in the moment. So how can you do that this next week? How can you be in the moment and create some new memories? That sounds like a fun thing for all of us. So let's see how that works for you. All right, Kimberly from across the pond. All right, my dear, you have the duty fool. And the duty fool is, we all have things that we have to do. But we can do them from a grudging place, like, I've got to do this. Or we can do it from a joy-filled place, which is, yay, I get to do this. Like today, I had to do my laundry. But the joy and excitement of taking a shower with a warm towel fresh out of the dryer, I love that. So it was worth doing the towels to be the first one to use the warm, to use that warm towel. And it was exciting for that. And when we do things from that place, they also go faster. When we are trudging along, doing them because we have to, time moves so slowly, right? But when we're whipping our way through things and we're like, yay, I get to do this and one more thing off my list. And, the more things I check off my list, the more time for me later, boom, you end up with hours to yourself that you wouldn't have if you'd done your duties all in that sort of negative burden energy. So put love in your heart and find a way to switch the energy around all the things that you have to do. All right, Jeannie. Okay, so I'm going to read yours because you're saying, very interesting. I'm usually rather together, and these past few months, I'm so not. Everything and every day is a struggle, physically and psychologically, life stress, all of it. Any ideas how to regain my equilibrium? Yep, this isn't a card. Thank you, Neshi. So, Jeannie, all of this relates to your energy system, your chakras. And when we have things happening physically and emotionally and mentally and even spiritually, they're layers of our energy system. And we can notice and become aware of the emotional component and where that is creating pain inside of us. They're all interchangeable. They're all very connected. And I invite you to go to my page, Chakra Sessions, and on there's lots and lots of videos connecting your energy system with your physical and your emotional health. And if you didn't get to do the meditation from the beginning of the broadcast, I really invite you, when this is over, to replay the beginning. Because every Wednesday night at 7 Eastern Standard Time, I do a healing meditation that brings your energy centers back into balance. And when you do that, it works on all of your things, on the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. And if you feel really off kilter and that you really need a helping hand, feel free to contact me, because this is my life's work. I do one-on-one work with people all the time, and we're in very turbulent energy right now, and it can be very difficult to manage and maneuver. And you are not alone at all. And maybe, we all are in a place where from time to time we need a helping hand. So don't be afraid to reach out to me. I will give you a card anyways. And I think this says it all. So your card is the Stress Fool. And this is just telling you to breathe. Breathe your way through and understand that pain is surfacing to show you something that is ready to heal. And it only shows itself when we are in an energy where we're actually ready to do something about it. So this means you are ready for this. And, sometimes those of us who are together most of the times, we need to be thrown apart for us to rebirth into something newer, brighter, and fuller. Like you might be going through an upgrade, sweetie, because we get upgraded in our energy system, and that can be, kind of wonky. So like I said, reach out to me if you want to, because I'd be happy to help. All right, Leah. Hi, of course. I always do cards until we're done. So you have the Hopeful, my dear. And the Hopeful is just allow space for hope to come in. When we get caught up in worry and we get caught up in doubt, we squeeze out the opportunity for hope. When we have hope, we can hold space for the divine and our spiritual team to help us out. We can hold space that other people will come to guide us through. And we can also be open that there are more possibilities out there than we can even imagine. So if you're in a space where you're feeling like, oh, this is the only thing, these are the only two choices that I have, remember you're talking about the divine with infinite possibilities. There's never just two answers to any question. So allow your heart to expand in hope, and trust that, the divine has your back. And yeah, that's the big one. Just fill that heart up, allow that space for a possibility to come in, and don't be afraid to hope. Sounds good. All right, Crystal. I hope I said that right. Nice. Balance is off. Yeah, a lot of us have going through a major changes, sweetheart. Balance is off because the earth is moving beneath our feet. So the way we used to ground for a lot of us isn't working anymore. And what my team keeps showing me is use your heart to ground. because your heart can move from through the dimensions as the earth is going through them. And it kind of gives us a buoy that we can hang on to. We can kind of bob as the energy is moving. But your card in connection to that, sweetie, is the meaning fool. So the meaning fool is mean what you say and only do what holds meaning for you. So in this upgrade that you went through and your balance is like realigning, and really your root chakra is recalibrating. It's deciding what no longer works for it. And in that place, we have to let go of a lot of things that just don't work for us anymore. Beliefs that don't work for us, people that don't work for us, ideas, all of those things throw us off balance. And notice at this sensitive point, if there are people's energy that you react to that throw you off balance. It's not that person's fault, but it's that we have this old ingrained reaction that they're showing us that we can make space to release. That will also help ground and bring you back into balance. And again, if you didn't get to watch the meditation at the beginning, when we're done with the broadcast, it'll be ready almost instantly. And I would replay the beginning and go through the grounding because it's very helpful. All right. And the last card for Neshi, no surprise. The rest fool. You need a break. It's time for you to go take a nap in a tubby. You know that. Don't run yourself ragged. You're at the end of your work week. Let it end, and let yourself have permission to really unplug. And if that means you need to reach out to some other people to take up the slack, there are other people to take up the slack. Mwah. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed your evening. And thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the work on yourself and being open to guidance on how to heal yourself and heal your life. And again, if you need any help with that, feel free to contact me through the Chakra Sessions page, because that's my life work. That's what I do. And trust me, I'm here for you. And with that, I will see you guys next week here at 7 on Soul Connections, or on Tuesday at noon for Chakra Sessions, where we work on everything energy and how that relates to our body. So for a couple of you who are asking those questions, that's where you might want to go for some long-term answers on how to help take care of yourself. And join Neshi tomorrow for her show, Spiritual Roundtable. That'll be at 3 o'clock. It's always a cool discussion about what's the energy of the day and how does that relate to us? Are we ready to receive the information, or are we supposed to be a messenger for somebody else to help them through their rocky time? Who knows? I know that whenever I tune in, it's for me. And with that, you guys have a great night, and we will see you soon. Mwah. Bye.